Legent is an agentic platform with traceability to legal entity identifier through the VLEI framework. And our reference implementation is for agentic procurement, which is a 20 trillion opportunity. With our position in legacy as well as our legacy systems as well as our revenue streams, we are looking at multiple modalities of revenue. Basically, what we are doing is to connect the VLEI architecture to multiple agentic frameworks as companies are trying to move into agentic flows, sometimes even beyond the boundaries of their company. Here, it's a live example where both Tommy Hilfiger and Jupyter Netting Company are live LEI agents. So there is an index of these agents that they are defining, which we have used to extend to induce the VLEI metadata into it. This is a way where each agent can say some parameters about how can they be verified so that the counterparty side can run its verifier and check against the LEI architecture to say how that agent has been delegated and they are proper. In this particular case, the buyer side is connecting to get the agent card of the seller, understands those parameters, calls the buyer side verification, and hits the verifier to look into the VLEI delegation structure of the seller agent and vice versa. So here, each of these parties are making that verification and the chain of delegation is being checked. And in this particular case, it is tied, the agents are tied to the OORs to hold highest level of accountability, and then in turn to their LE, in turn to their QVI, in turn to the GT foot. So in this particular case, the information that is fetched is being shown, and the level of detail that is being checked are multiple levels to show that the basic format is right, and then the Kyria IDs exist. They have the seal delegation anchored correctly, as well as the signatures. Those are all the checks that happen, and based on which the mutual trust is getting established. And from an usage point of view, this is the Algo Titans. Titan is basically trade intelligence and tokenized asset network. And one of the implementations we have is on the Algorand blockchain, which is where we are extending our Web 2 functionality into Web 3. We are supporting many other blockchains, but Algorand is one of them. In this particular case, there are many things that are happening at either the UI level or at the A to A level, agentic level, at multiple points outside of the VLA system, but it is becoming very important in some situations to attach the legal verifiability of these agents to trace the verifiability to say these agents had the right delegation so that we know it is having the right delegation that they say they are having, and then the credential that is coming in this particular case. We also made some progress in putting that invoice as a custom credential as well, and it is in our roadmap to further extend it to the VLAI architecture. Now, this delegation can actually happen at one level for AI agents, and for an AI agentic activity, that delegation can actually be extended to another agent which can have that delegation also. This gives a very high powerful way of figuring out the chain of delegations, no matter how the autonomous decisions are being made. It can be traced back to the VLAI architecture. And in this particular case, based on the delegation that we had the comfortability with, which will further get extended into a full-fledged custom invoice credential. On the other side, through push or pull mechanisms, it is getting passed to the agentic A2A architecture, where based on the pass, the notion that they get, they basically release the payments for the delivery versus payments. And in this case, it happens to be a blockchain payment based on a high degree of certainty coming from the knowing the delegation of the other agent that is basically submitted the invoice to show that we can actually pay them. And with respect to the payment itself, it is going through the blockchain rails. In this particular case, this is the transaction that we are seeing in the Algorand Terra blockchain that happened a few minutes ago. Now, why is this becoming important? This is where we are hearing this is a live pilot we are running with respect to some community work we are doing. Plus, we are talking to multiple governments and ministries, including the Director General of Foreign Trade. This is cutting the transaction times, not just at the payment level, but also the huge amount of things that has to be done again and again. Know your supplier, know your business, know your buyer, but not just that itself is a big extension over the other KYC from other blockchain type of structures. But that's a huge lift, but it basically reduces the amount of back and forth when it gets integrated into agent cards. That's what we have done. And on top of it, this delegation basically proves a whole bunch of data integrity and business processes that is coming back as a reference URL that is baked into the custom invoice record. And we want to extend that work, and we really want to work closely with the VLEI to develop this into a bigger product over the next 18 months. We are supported by multiple research foundations. Please check out our website as well as the grants and the accolades we have been gathering, where we are taking our traditional business in our trade intelligence, particularly in this time where people are looking for newer buyers and newer markets in the global trade kind of a situation. There is a lot of opportunity coming our way. Thanks a lot for listening. And for more information, you can reach us at satya@chainam.com. Thank you.